Okay, question 12. Jen joined the fan favorite movie club at the local movie theater. At this theater, the cost of admission in May and June remains the same. In May, she saw 2 matinees and 3 regular price shows and spent $38.50. In June, she went to 6 matinees and 1 regular price show and spent $47.50. So notice that I did annotate our paragraph so that I've got all the information highlighted to make it stand out of what's happening in these 2 different months. So in the first month, I'm going to catalog. I'm going to start with she spent $38.50. What did she spend her money on? She spent 2 matinees and 3 regular price shows for $38.50. That's our first equation. Now, for the second equation, she spent $47.50. What'd she spend it on? 6 matinees. And here's the danger part. 1 regular price show. But they do this on Regents exams all the time. They sneak in those number words because if you're looking for numerals, you might read right past that 1 and not get your 1R for this equation. So now what we want to do is actually test this. So I'm going to go to my TI Nspire graphing calculator. So, home screen, new doc, say no to drugs, and add a calculator page. Now, what I want to do is use the store command. I want to store. So, the first thing I want to do is store my values. So, $5.75 is M. So, control and the VAR key, var, is the store command for M, and press enter. Now $9, control followed by the var key, is R. Now I can type my equations exactly like I wrote them. 2M plus 3R equals $38.50. And it tells me that that's true. 6M plus 1R equals $47.50. And it tells me that that's false. And that's how I know that this system, those values only work for one of my 2 equations. Now, one thing I really like about this is they say justify, not explain. Justify means that I can show the work that goes into it by showing what I put in my calculator, that the first equation is true and the second equation is false, and therefore I can say no. But remember, that one little word no is a point. If you don't answer the question they ask, you do not get credit. Now, next, I want to take out some insurance. And what I mean by that is I'm going to go to a new calculator page and I'm going to add a calculator, menu 3, 2. Now, our variables in this case are M, comma, R. And now I just want to put my 2 equations into my calculator. Now, the reason I call this my insurance policy is because now I have an answer, 6.5 and 8.5. If I read this, M, the matinee ticket costs $6.50, the regular ticket costs $8.50. I have an answer to get more points for this problem, but the instructions are solve algebraically. So in order to solve this algebraically, I need to eliminate a variable. So I want to distribute a negative 3 through my second equation to get negative 3r to make the r's go away. So negative 3 times 6 is negative 18m. Negative 3 times r is what I want. It's negative 3r. And then I do negative 3 times 4750. And our result is negative 142.50. And now we combine like terms. 2 subtract negative 2 minus 18 is negative 16. And when I combine my totals, I get negative 104. So now all I have to do to find m is divide negative 104 by negative 16. So I just verified the price of a matinee ticket is $6.50 since m equals 6.5. So now I can use either equation to determine r. But notice this equation, the second one, has r all by itself. So that's the one I'm going to choose. So I plug in my 6.5 for m, and I multiply by 6. And I get $39. So now I'm going to subtract that 39 from both sides of my equation. My result is 47.5 minus 39 is 8.5. So a matinee ticket costs $6.50. A regular ticket costs $8.50. And that's full credit. That's how we get all the points for this question, which this was a 6-point question. So if we never get to that point of doing it algebraically, we would steal this LinSolve. This is a way to guarantee that we might lose a point or two because we didn't do it algebraically, but we could still get most of the credit for this question if we demonstrate that we used LinSolve to get it. This is not algebraic and not full credit. So my recommendation is very straightforward. If you can do the algebra to get the final answer, do not write LinSolve on your paper, because that's a statement to say you use the calculator to get the answer. If for some reason you can't do the algebra, you put the LinSolve on your paper to get as many points as possible. And that's our answer to question number